Hey, what's up, guys? It's your boy, B, and welcome back to the channel. I noticed you guys been asking me some questions, like talking about, hey, can you show us how to, how to get clients in my type of business, right? In a non-emergency transportation business. Before we get into that, I just want to clarify something real quick. I'm really passionate about YouTube, but it's not my number one priority. You know what I'm saying? YouTube is just something that I like, that I'm passionate about, and it's just a way for me to keep track of my journey in life, such as, at one point I was playing video games. At one point I was being a truck driver. So just to see how far I came in life, so I can look back on it. That's the reason why I do YouTube. It has nothing to do with me trying to make money of it. Thank God, I'm doing financially well right now. You know what I mean? But just wanted to clarify that. But if you guys are really interested in some of the things that I'm doing, such as the business, please feel free to comment, and I promise I'll do my best to make sure to bring in some videos for you guys that will be informational to you guys. Okay, now let's get to it. So basically, someone in the comments has asked me, "Hey, how do you get clients in our type of business?" So number one, I'm not gonna go into specific numbers, but I'm just gonna give you the overall way of getting customers and how I did it essentially. So you can go to hospitals and let them know about your service. You can call retirement homes, or you can go to, you can do a Facebook ads if you can't afford it. Let's just say money's tight in the beginning. Don't worry too much about it, right? Call retirement homes, do cold calling, tell them about your service, and just honestly, just if you have a vehicle, show your vehicle, you know what I mean? Take, show, put a big logo and number and stuff like that so people can see it, because that's free branding for you. And go to hospitals, and, go to rehabs, go to clinics, what I'm saying? Call all those places, or go to them and let them know about your service, because if they don't know you exist, you're not going to get the clients, right? It's so simple to say it, but that's literally what it takes, So, but I'm gonna get more in depth to help you guys out, right? So, for example, if you're calling retirement homes and hospitals, they like to gatekeep because they probably have deals with bigger companies and stuff like that. And you being the small shark coming into this big big ocean, right? You know, they of course they're not gonna make it easy on you. So the way you take care of that, what I'm saying, the way you get ahead essentially is number one, do a good job at your service. Anything that you do 100% of it. Show that, what I'm saying, that you could do better than the competitors. These so-called competitors, or the big companies, they're not hungry like you. You know what I'm saying? They're not a small company. They have the money now. They got everything. So they're not gonna show. They forgot how to show compassion. They forgot how to show what it takes to take care of customers. And that's where you come in and you capitalize on that, right? So, for example, the way I would have went about it, for example, let's just say if I was calling a retirement home. When you call a retirement home, just to introduce yourself, let me give you a little, guys. Let me get a little bit more in depth. Let's just say, for example, I was calling a retirement home. I'll introduce myself. I'll just say, hi, my name's AB. I'm calling on the behalf of Easy Lift, and I just wanted to let you guys know a little bit about our service. I would like to talk to somebody who's in charge of transportation and planning, or anybody who does activities. And then 9 times out of 10, they'll transfer you to that person. And if you get the opportunity to talk to that person, just pitch the same thing. Just tell them your name, your service, what you guys do, and then essentially ask. This is where you get them. Ask them, hey, what are problems that you guys are having? Are the big companies showing up on time? Are they doing the things that you guys are expecting them to do? So come at it as like, hey, what's the problem you're having? And then I promise you, 9 times out of 10, they'll tell you what the problem is. And then that's where you pitch in and say, hey, we're not, I'm not here to, basically, replace the competitor. But if they're not showing up on time or stuff like that, we're known as showing up on time. You know what I'm saying? So basically, here's our phone number. Give us a call when you need us. We'll be more than happy to do it. I promise you, if you show up every time, they'll call you eventually. Believe me. When they do call you, they're not going to call you on the time that you want them to call you. They'll call you on the time that you're not expecting it. It could be that you're not even having especially being a small company, you might be at home sleeping and you haven't got any calls for a couple of days or whatever. And you're trying to you're trying to sleep in for a bit. They might call and say, hey, can you be here in the next 30 minutes or an hour? You got to say, yes, we'll make it happen. Because you need that contract. You need them more than they need you in the beginning, until it gets to the point where they, say they're going to need you more than you need them. Because if you do a really good job, you know what I mean, you can get to anything. So, and the beautiful thing about this type of business is that, you have opportunities to get to know, let's just say, even if somebody's gatekeeping and they're not letting you, like, let's just say, hospitals or retirement homes, they're not going to call you first because they're calling the competitors because you're a small company. The way you can get to them is, let's just say, you get private homes, meaning like regular people will just see your vehicle, they'll call, they'll book, they'll ask pricing. If they like your pricing, guess what? You'll pick them up. When you pick them up and you go to the hospital or retirement home, guess what you're going to do? Give them your business cards, right? And just tell them, hey, if you guys ever need something, we'd be more than happy to help you. And guess what? When things are tough for them, guess who they're going to remember? You. If you show up and you take care of things the way they want you to take care of it, and you show that you're hungry, you're really willing to do this, and all that, I promise you, you're gonna get that customer. You know what I'm saying? So but there's no easy way there's no shortcuts to this. You know what I mean? You got to be hungry, you got to be passionate, you got to really want to do this. You know what I'm saying? So in this business, the first 2 years, I didn't really make much of money, but I stuck with it because I'm truly passionate about it. I love helping people. I love everything about the business, and by the grace of God, you know what I'm saying, we're doing some crazy numbers. You know what I'm saying right now. So basically, that's the most important thing. So retirement home, Facebook marketing. You know what I'm saying? Say Facebook ads, I should say. Sorry, retirement home. Hospitals, rehabs, all those places. Any place that you would feel like an elderly person, a dentist and stuff like that they have to go to, you got to go to those places, drop off business cards. You understand? So those are all the places that anywhere you would normally take your customers, you have to go to those places. They have to know that you exist. That's the way you get customers. You understand? I wanted to touch on something because a lot of people have been emailing me, calling me, and messaging me on TikTok and stuff like that, talking about, AB, can you please tell me how to run, how to start the business and how to do this and how to do that. I'll be honest with you. I cannot help you start a business. I can't, because the thing is, I think you guys are forgetting that I never used to run a business before this. You know what I'm saying? I had to learn it from the beginning to the, you know what I'm saying? To where I'm at today, I had to take step by step, and I had to learn it on my own. You know what I'm saying? And, I understand everybody wants to, skip the part that I made mistakes in and stuff like that. So that way, you know what I mean? That, they can get ahead. You're not going to get it that way, because the thing is, my journey is not your journey. The mistakes that I made, you're not going to make it, most likely, because you might already have some ideas about business. You know what I'm saying? So the best way I could tell you is that in every city you live in, the rules is different. So I can only give you a general information. You know what I mean? I can't, there's a lot of people be like, yo, come sit down with me and, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think you guys are forgetting that the whole purpose of business is for you to go through the hardship and learn from it. And that's what makes this whole thing worth it. You know what I'm saying? If you're trying to take a shortcut, there's no shortcut to it. And I feel like that's the mistakes many people are making, is they're thinking that, and especially like the people who are contacting me, they didn't even get nothing started. You know what I'm saying? They don't even have a vehicle. They don't have anything started yet. They're calling me, and then they're like, hey, I'm just trying to get information on how. If you want to get information, you can literally Google it. You know what I'm saying? There's AI nowadays. Information isn't going to get you to the first step forward. You have to jump in the pool, and, and then you figure out how to swim from there. That's what I'm trying to say, right? I'm not trying to gatekeep. I could care less. You know what I mean? There's a lot of competitors here. All I know is I do things as well, as best as I can and as well as I can, and that's all I got to worry about. You know what I'm saying? There's always going to be competition and competitors in every business that you go into. It's not about gatekeeping or stuff like that. But what you guys need to understand is there's no shortcut to this stuff. You just have to start from somewhere, and you just gotta, you know what I mean? You just gotta take it step by step. And I promise you, when you learn from it, you know what I mean? That experience, will basically is what's gonna get you ahead. Because the thing is, I can tell you, hey, don't make this mistake, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this, go do this, start this. I can tell you that. But guess what? You're not gonna have any of those issues. It's possible that you're not gonna have those issues, because depending on what city you live in, you might not even have to worry about some of the things. You know what I mean? So, and then on top of that, this is not a get rich, fast scheme. That's not how it works. This business is a slow process, but you know what I'm saying? There's money in it. You know what I'm saying? But to get to that, it's like a gold. You know what I'm saying? you got to dig that shit before you can find it and, do what you need to do with it, right? So, so number one, you got to be passionate. You got to really care for people, because you're going to see some shit. There's going to be customers that you're going to fall in love with, you know what I'm saying? And you're going to hear that they passed away. There's going to be a lot of things that you're going to know. You're going to start becoming personal with people. If that's not what you're willing to do, and that's not what you're looking for, I'm sorry, but this type of business is not for you. You know what I mean? Like, you have to be somebody who's trying to come in here for more than just the money. Because if it was money, I was making a lot of money as a truck driver. I was making way more money, you know what I mean, as a truck driver. But, on my portfolio, I got more money. But, as pocket-wise, I ain't got shit, you know what I'm saying? But I'm okay with it. I don't really care for the money. I care about the opportunity to give people, jobs. And that's what I love about it. And the opportunity that I can help my community and do something for my community. The reason why I'm emphasizing this is what it's going to take for you to be successful in this industry. I don't want you to come in here and then get out of business tomorrow. That's not what I want for anybody. If you're truly serious and you're passionate and you want to do this is the right way to do it. I appreciate you guys for watching and taking the time to watch this video. If you guys are truly interested, please, just comment whatever you guys want to see. And I promise I'll do my best to make some videos and help you guys out in any way I can. Peace.